I want to thank everybody, and I do want to thank. It's such a busy. What the film already has such a great trajectory in motion. It's called. I see. I'm already starting without even
Okay, hold on a
saying I'm
sec.
going to start. I'll
Let me
start
see what
talking
this is.
though. But it's uh, Elizabeth Taylor, The Lost Tapes. It's already got this great trajectory going. We have people who've been helping put this together and coordinating our conversation in anticipation of the Nantucket Film Festival screenings. So thanks to those guys at Frank PR and of course the HBO documentaries publicity team as well. Thank you. So Nanette, I've been doing this podcast for like 13 years, waiting for you to come on.
Really? Wow. You're a very
Well,
patient man. I don't know
yeah,
that I was
well,
willing
this
to
is my
wait.
last interview, so it's uh yeah, no, I mean I've been following your career and the work, and I really have wanted to meet you and do something like this for a long time because I'm an
Oh,
admirer of your work and the collaborations with you and that you've done with Brett and everything else. So yeah,
yeah.
excited, excited.
Thank
Now I was given a link to see Elizabeth Taylor, but I'm going to tell you straight off the top here. I just don't want to see it online, even though I'm less prepared than I would be, because I want to see it on the big screen at the Nantucket Film Festival for the first
Oh,
time.
okay, good.
So I'm breaking my own rule by not being prepared as much
That's
as I could be.
okay.
So
That's
we'll
okay.
partner. Okay, but for the best of reasons, right?
Absolutely. I respect that very much.
Um, where did the film premiere? Have its world premiere?
The world premiere for Elizabeth Taylor, The Lost Tapes, was at the Cannes Film Festival.
That's the one in France, right?
Yes,
Okay,
and
all right.
not far from me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now the Nantucket Film Festival, and you're going to be there.
Yes, and we also screened at the Tribeca Film Festival this week in New York City.
Oh,
Yes.
so you had your world premiere. You've had your
And then we have our
U.S. premiere.
domestic premiere,
What's
and
that?
now we will have our Nantucket showing.
Your New England premiere,
Our New England premiere,
or
yeah.
however I don't know how they describe it. But
Yeah.
anyway, thank you. And how many podcasts have you done for this film?
None so far. You're my
Great.
first.
The first, that's nice too. And what a great subject. I circled this one even before I saw your name because it's part of a recent, I don't know, I didn't even go bother looking, but I've seen some documentaries where it's no talking heads. And I'm not certain because again, I haven't seen it, but it's all primary archival, audio and video. I'm guessing that's the case here.
Yes, there are no talking heads in this film. The spine of the film, substance-wise, are from these interviews that Elizabeth Taylor did in 1964
Hmm.
with this journalist, Richard Merriman, who was ghostwriting a book about her. And so he wanted to just casually record their conversation so he would know what to write about. Um, Ironically, a lot of the best stories she didn't let him put in the book, but they were allowed to be put in her film by her estate. So there fortunately is just an enormous amount of imagery of Elizabeth, not only all of the movies that she made, but so many photos. And the estate also shared with me all of her personal photos and her personal home movies. So there was such an opportunity to tell a very visual story. And a glamorous story, but also a story of substance where you have this legendary star speaking so candidly. That's such a rare occurrence. It was a real find.
Yeah. Well, you kind of almost started answering what I would ask next. Oh, by the way, just to get it out of the way, if you were planning to go like me to the Nantucket Film Festival, this Elizabeth Taylor, The Lost Tapes will screen on June 21st at 10 a.m., which I'll be at that screening, and at the Dreamland Theater, and again on June 22nd at 4:30. And you'll be there for at least one, if not, you'll be there for both screenings at the Q for Q&A. right?
I will be there for the 10 a.m. screening.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
didn't
You
realize
got
it was
places
going
to
to
go.
be 10 a.m. It's kind of weird.
Okay. I'm looking for it. I'll see you there then. But
Okay.
uh um but I was going to sort of say, what was surprising to you, because we know so much about Elizabeth Taylor. But of course, then again, it was during the heyday of the um Hollywood, and so they were very handled movie stars. But you got a lot of spontaneous, um less censored information from her, directly from her, while you're,
Yes.
right from her, the audio.
Yeah, she was extremely candid. She wasn't thinking that people would be listening to her audio. So
Hmm.
she was speaking very extemporaneously and honestly, and revealed so much about her trials and tribulations, which, really extend from her career challenges to the challenges of her personal life, and also um her public image. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor is one of the first modern celebrities, meaning that she had to deal with a court of public opinion and was scrutinized endlessly and was considered scandalous, was slut shamed, was a home wrecker, and the
All right.
paparazzi, just like with Princess Diana, or Taylor Swift or whoever, who just were doing whatever they could to follow her and get photographs. In fact, I think the word paparazzi came from following Elizabeth Taylor around in the set of Cleopatra on Rome with these Italian journalists that were
Oh,
ruthless.
I didn't know that.
She was at the time having an affair with Richard Burton while she was married to Eddie Fisher, and he had a wife, Sybil Burton, with kids, and they were not very secretive about their affair. So it was, I mean, even the Pope came out against it. Yeah. So, I think the film deals with all of those issues. But a lot of what the film is about is, Elizabeth was a very strong-willed woman who liked to play those kinds of characters on screen that really challenged this notion of gender. And she was a pioneer in that way. And she lived her life the way she wanted to, and the consequences came, but she just did it anyway. And
Hmm.
she had a very full life. So I think I admire her tenacity, and I admire the fact that she was such a powerful woman in that time and age where it was very hard to be.
Yeah, and she also seemed to figure out how the sort of way to balance, as you said, the paparazzi and all of the trappings of Hollywood with finding, when she could, serious work, and work that would challenge her as an actor. And
Yeah,
I don't imagine
she
she was
struggled.
pushed towards some of that work. I mean, I don't know if she was pushed towards, let's say, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, from an unknown film director at the time. So first project from Mike Nichols, let's say, um, when there were lots more kind of more alternatives and all the Tennessee Williams stuff and everything. I mean, she did a lot of dark work and stuff that really seemed to push her as an actor.
And that's so she loved to do those kinds of parts.
Clearly, yeah,
For the first half of her career, um, or at least up until Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, she was under the contract studio system, which means they tell you what movies you're going to be doing. You don't get to choose. So she really struggled to get the parts that she felt were meaty and challenging and complicated and edgy, and they were few and far between. She managed, she did, suddenly last summer, um, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
yeah.
Those were movies that really excited her. But she had to do a million other ones that she did not like. So, you know, once she got out of that studio system, because it changed, she was able to choose her own roles, and she chose much different roles, like much more. And she, one of her pet peeves, understandably, was that she thought that people just thought of her as a pretty face or a movie star or a sex symbol, but not a serious actress.
Right.
And
Which is kind of
so
what I was getting
she
to. Yeah.
actually really like Giant too,
Right.
or Who's Afraid of
Yeah.
Virginia Woolf. She played parts where she had to age up quite a bit, and she wasn't, beautiful, um, in the traditional sense.
Deglamorized.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So she loved doing that. She wanted to get away from this image where she was just thought of for her physical appearance.
Well, I'm really looking forward. There's something kind of haunting about listening to the original voice. And
It's funny. I know I had a friend, I've had a bunch of friends see the movie, but they said that was what one of my friends said to me. It was very haunting. So that adjective was used specifically.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sort of anticipating, and I can almost experience it all before I see it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, because she did always strike me as there's so much more going on. I'm very so when you made this, I thought, good, good. This is the exact right time for something like this, and people, a new generation will be introduced to her, and that should be a very interesting reaction. It will be on HBO. HBO Docs. They produced the film. Is that fair to say?
Yes, HBO docs, yes, produced.
Documentaries, and it will be on HBO documentaries. I wrote it down here, so I should be able to see it.
August 3rd, it's if you could
August 3rd. That is,
when it
you are
starts.
correct. August 3rd. It's right there. Uh,
Yeah.
and congratulations
Thank
and
you.
thank you. Really, I hope we can do this in a more nuanced way once I've seen it. Um,
Sure.
and in maybe sometime in July, maybe we can do a part two, because
Okay.
I'm sure I'll have lots more to ask you about at
I'm
that
sure
time.
you will, actually. And I'm excited that you want to see it on the big screen, even though it's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the morning.
There, there's only a handful that I know I'm seeing, and that's the first one. So
I don't
thanks.
know. Elizabeth would want you to have champagne breakfast and then go see her film.
I'll sneak it in. I'll sneak it in, and I'll save a little champagne for you afterwards. How's that?
That sounds good.
All right. So I don't know if I ever met you my all the times I was at the Half King, but this is
Oh, really?
yeah, sure. Used to go to a lot
Oh,
of book events. I even worked for this for a short time as a like extra work I did with the oh darn it, I'm gonna forget the name of the organization, but they set up the book events,
we had
at the Half
different
King.
people over the years,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. So I did some of those with some of the
Mhm.
authors that were there. It was a very special place. I miss it to
Thank
this
you.
day. Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
special place.
it was. I saw it actually. I was there the night Obama was elected.
I was too.
So we probably rubbed elbows and we didn't
And
realize it.
probably that was one of the most exciting nights of my life. I was
I know
also
mine too.
unfortunately there the night that Hillary lost, and that was a
Oh,
completely different experience.
yeah, the yin and the yang of life.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
well.
yeah.
All right. See you on June 21st at the Dreamland Theater at the Nantucket Film Festival, Nanette.
Okay, thank you so
All right.
much.
My pleasure.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
bye.
Have a great day.
You too.